practice to keep players valuable. Exactly what Gladiators have done here with Legion. We see both teams getting ready to roll out here on Lijiang, our first map, the control of the series. And it looks like Legion are going to be rolling out this triple DPS comp. Versus Bermuda, they're playing the 3-3, the standard.
So, Legion going to be heading on out here, and it's going to be Bishu on the Sombra. Now, this is an interesting look for Bishu, where, you know, normally he's on D.Va, but right now, D.Va's flex the Sombra often. But I'm curious to see just how well Bishu's Sombra does here.
Water going to be on that Pharah, a well-known projectile player. As right now, Legion, they've actually forced Bermuda to go back and swap. They're getting Umte onto the Winston.
It's been heavy pressure right now. Bermuda had the back out, go for a little bit of swaps. And now Water in a great position, potentially boop some people off. And it looks like one just fell. Ludi was able to get to the side, sends Guru off the bridge. And for that, Legion right now working at a pretty big advantage.
They are. They're doing great right now, but there's still frags being traded here on the point. Early barrage from Water. The knockup going to happen. Shu going to finish him off the pistol. It's still great, though. Bermuda,
though, is a good spot when you have a charged up Zarya and a Brigitte left on point. This time, Bermuda can fight back, potentially. Dalton knows other plans. Moving in here on Tracer. They're going to get the D-Mech on the Shu. They isolate down Ultima left. And Legion, off respawns now. They should be able to secure the point.
Yeah, this should be it. OG getting the frag onto Wolf, but it'll be going down very soon. The tanks are still alive, though. The Moira's back for Pizza Demon. There are the mines. This is still winnable, potentially, for Bermuda.
Bermuda working their way back in. Legion right now just trying to solidify. Neither team has capped the point here quite just yet. But Legion trying to solidify. Water, really the driving force here for Legion. Hasn't gone down, constantly in the air. Heavy damage being applied from him every step of the way.
Guru is back. A lot of energy on Guru right now. Bishu with the EMP. The beat is forced reloaded to keep him alive. Will the EMP come out after?
Bishu waiting for it. Oh, the barrage one more time. Taking down 3. Rainstorms of rockets on the menu right now, as Legion likely now has done enough to get the point.
This should be it. The fight is finishing up. That triple with Pizza Demon out, with Guru out, means there was no damage, not a lot of sustain, and now it's just going to be clean up on the point. Shu going down, won't commit anything. And by the way, this entire time, the point has still not been capped, ZP.
No, it has not. This has been ridiculous delay from Bermuda one way or another. I mean, really, this entire first contest has been longer than almost 2 rounds can be in other matches, so what a ridiculous start to the game.
Actual incredibly long contest there. Now, Bishu holding on to the EMP Bermuda. Not a lot in their bank there. They don't have the beat. They will have their Coalescence soon, but I wouldn't really rate Coalescence as great against them as the EMP.
Self-destruct going to be opening up here. Shu finds Water. The anti-air self-destruct leading the way here for Bermuda. And now Legion might have to cede ground here. We'll see if they can delay much in the way that Bermuda did, and it's in their advantage to do so, right? 24% to 0. Dalton going to be picking him up on the side, but Bermuda's coming in with a pretty heavy advantage.
That was a great stick as well. Ultimate Whip is down. This allows Legion to potentially recontest. There's the EMP.
Dalton's really starting to fight his way back in here, and he's done enough for Water. The get back over onto the point. Drops the barrage one more time, and usually say barrage is press Q to respawn, but for Water, it's press Q to win.
Especially while the EMP is out. I mean, there's no way to really effectively punish him. No Matrix. Dalton making some hero plays there. That stick, ensuring the kill on the Ultimate Whip, allows Legion to come back in, removes the possibility of a rally. So now Legion's still holding on to point.
Legion looking very good all on all, despite Bermuda fighting them tooth and nail. And Legion have had it for fighting on the point. They're going to try and take this a little bit more forward. Guru getting hacked. Early on the fight. Dalton moving forward. And while they're going forward, meanwhile, the rest of Bermuda, they just dive into the Legion. They get 2 as a result, and now they can just casually move over onto the point. We'll see how Legion adapts.
They've already flipped the point. Bermuda already has it. Legion now going to come back in for the recontest, as Rolf actually just going to be falling off the map, so Legion have to reset.
What did you think of Legion going that far deep to contest Bermuda?
I don't have a problem with going deep, especially Dalton trying to play that backline.
Oh!
But as well as Water gets the boop onto Pizza Demon, and that's the opening they need. A lot of sustain gone.
Water right now has just been continually devastating Bermuda in every way possible here on the Pharah. Good boops, good barrages, and now he's floating to the back here. Again, looking for members of Bermuda, looking for reinforcements as they come on in. Graviton going to be invested here by Guru. They use to get Bishu as Bermuda continues to fight.
And I think that's all the picks that Bermuda need right now. Bishu without the EMP, without the pulse bomb now for Dalton as well. There's no win condition right now for Legion. They need to reset. But as I say that, Ludwig commits beat.
Panker gonna fall. It's been a quiet game for Panker here so far. Bermuda casually just fighting on the point right now. Legion unable to find a good moment, and even with watering the barrage on deck, it's time to reset.
It is, and now Panker is going to be swapping onto the Reinhardt, so I imagine Legion coming in for a full swap. Will they keep water on this Pharah, though? I imagine not, but it's very possible they might, since he does have the barrage. I don't think it's worth it. No, water going to be making the swap here as well. Bishu, though, we continue to stay on the Sombra. They do have that EMP up. I need to make sure that the EMP is able to catch OG, because this beat could be life-saving.
So Legion, despite the amount of work that Water was doing on far, they go over here to the Brigidas just because they want a stronger ground presence.
I think the stronger ground presence is most importantly what's happening. They're not able to beat Pizza Demon just yet on the Moira.
Right now under pressure, drops the EMP under that same pressure, and it's punishing Bermuda, who dove in. They use it to immediately take down Ute, but Panker's a little bit deep. Panker's out of the fight early. Legion have not won this by any stretch of the imagination, and they're getting low. It's scrappy. Both teams have lost 2 right now. Pizza Demon coming in off the other side. Guru falling in the white room. Legion have gotten a little bit more here, and now they're going to rotate it onto the point.
And Legion almost have grab. Dalton built this grab incredibly quickly. One fight to have that grab. They're moving onto point right now. OG, though, gets the poop onto water. And there's the grab up for Dalton.
Graviton coming out here from Dalton as the Legion look to wrap this one up. 99% for Bermuda, though. They have time for one good decisive fight. They're getting Vesticle Essence here. Applying more pressure to Legion out here in the courtyard.
Double support ult from Legion. They do layer, but this could be all right as long as they can get the frags.
Yeah, they need to get at least something from this, but instead it's just Dalton falling, and yet they've still done enough on the other side. Legion. All right, Panker with the shatter. The dagger in the heart towards the very end, knocking 3 to the ground. And now Bermuda, if they can even delay here, it's going to be a miracle.
I don't think they'll let them. You see Bishu holding so far forward with water. There's the EMP, denying Shu the ability to even fly to point. Umte gets the pick, gets the frag, but it doesn't matter. So Legion, their triple DPS looks relatively strong. Water in particular, Dalton doing a lot of work, but they swap for that ground presence like we talked about. And Bishu, I think in the end, his EMPs weren't fantastic. They weren't the game changers, his Sombra play, but they were as strong as they needed to be.
Very exciting first round there, and also very long first round. Again, we've had
Extremely.
full control maps that have gone to 3 maps that have ended sooner than what we've seen there. So very good stuff for both sides. And Bermuda, I mean, credit where credit is due. Legion have been a fairly strong team overall, so for Bermuda to come in and take Legion to the limit like that on round 1, it's impressive.
So now we're going to be rolling out here to Control Center. Second round here of Lijiang. Both teams going to be running the standard 3-3 mirror. Umte and Panker both on Reinhardt. As we're going to watch these Zarya bubbles, it's going to be very important here.
Both teams getting into it. Bermuda being a little bit more aggro, but they're eating a lot of poke damage as a result. 3 members super low. Umte now bearing the brunt as everyone was backing up. Means Reinhardt's going to be getting more focus, and he got to fall. He's so low. He ends up getting healed up. Legion can't finish off Umte there. But they are starting to win the war of attrition, but not quite as much. Now it's going back the other way. Panker and Bishu getting low. Bermuda, they've healed up. They're taking the initiative to swing it back the other way. And also going to get water before Guru falls on the other side.
This should be a better exchange here for Legion. Catching Guru means they have this extra damage from Dalton. They have the bubbles. Even with Bishu out of mech, there's still a chance. Ultimate Weapon using this very aggressive rally to keep his team in the fight. You see Dalton, though, build up to that grab.
Dalton up on grab. Bermuda, they have first control of the point here, so they still got the better of the exchange. But now Legion says, we want to scrap. Rally going to be used here early. Bermuda can get some decent respect, but not enough. Umte caught out. Ludi able to finish him off. They speed boost over on in. And with a clean Rhine pickoff, it's going to be Legion retaking this.
That was a great focus onto the shield as well. Panker decided to drop the shatter at the end of the fight. I don't even think it was necessary. Just wanting to end it as soon as possible. But they use Water's rally. They come back into the point with the high energy of Dalton and focus Umte's shield extremely hard. Break it, get the pick. Now Legion, they flipped, and they're holding the choke, and they have grab. They have combo.
Legion looking much better here, but Bermuda, they had a decent start to the round where they still got 37% even off the trade. Now they're going to move forward. Umte charging forward, has to be looking for the shatter here. Bermuda, they use the bear right after. Everyone close together. The shatter is dropped, doesn't hit anyone from Legion. Instead, the counter bomb from Bishu, far more impactful. They invest in Transcendence a little bit later on. Don't know if they need to do that, but it's Legion taking the fight.
It's still fine. I agree. It's probably not necessarily extremely necessary, but it's great that they win the fight. They're continuing to build ult here. They got the grab out of Guru. They got double support ult out of Bermuda. So they're still holding the choke. They're on their way to another grab. This is still very, very good for Legion. As they continue to hold the choke here, they're going to look for that grab. They're going to look for a position there to continue to fight. Here comes the bomb. Shu trying to make that space. Doesn't catch anyone.
find anyone just yet. Cure able to get Panker down. And off the shatter from it's big. Knocks down enough for Bermuda. Now they just walk forward, do what they need to do. Bermuda should be able to retake off this and still have themselves a contest.
So now here comes the cleanup frags. Wolf going to be catching OG, but not necessarily going to be the end all for there. Legion losing the point. They're going to come back in. That was a great shatter from by the way, keeping everyone on the ground. The split from Shu with the bomb, setting it up. So now Legion going to move in. They don't have combo of their own, but OG doesn't have beat, so they don't necessarily need the combo. Panker has shatter as well.
Legion would very much love to retake this on this contest here. Panker walking forward, shatter ready, sacrificing shield HP. Didn't really seem to care, but the boot back gets him in a rough spot. Doesn't quite have the position he wanted for the shatter, and now the grab's going to come out here as Bermuda uses Transcendence in return. Shatter can be dropped from Panker and doesn't quite get exactly what he's looking for, but with Shu gang demeched, still could be enough. Graviton in, here comes Bishu. Self-destruct to the back, connects on the Shu. Shu cannot get back into mech, and this is a very scrappy fight.
I cannot believe has stayed alive so long. There's the beat to keep him up as well. So many resources have been committed. They were even able to get Panker off the charge. And now there's the beat late from Ludde. They're on point. Still so low.
Legion, though, they're in a better health position overall. We're going to see the shot from back on the other side. They use it to get water, but Bermuda just losing too many people here, and yet it still might not be the worst thing in the world. They had control this entire time, so they still bring it up to 99%.
They do. That was a great bomb from Bishu as well, getting the zone, killing Shu, and finally, Legion have got the flip. And so much focus fire was going into there, and he just could not go down. He gets straight up Panker. So Legion holding the, I don't think they're going to hold the choke, actually. They're holding the point. They're waiting for those respawns. Pizza Demon will have the trance. Shu will have the bomb. Legion really need to be looking for a grab. They need to be looking for a grab here.
And for Legion, this is really one-fight territory. If they lose now, they're not going to have good positioning. So they can delay, or they can hold back a little bit, try and get the best engagement. But Bermuda, they're not going to give them time. They charge in. Early bash coming out here as Bermuda charges into the Legion.
And now, there's the grab out. It gets the trance, the bomb out. They need to make sure they split. They have bubbles, but there's the charge. Isn't able to catch anything.
Red Shadow coming in. Shu able to get Bishu. Bermuda fighting tooth and nail here. Graviton's out. Panker again awfully low. He's going to fall in the middle of the vortex. And Bermuda bringing it back the other way. Shattered down from catches Bishu. Pilot Diva unable to get back in. And Bermuda says, we're going to go to a round 3.
An incredible performance from not only the tank line of Guru but I think I really just all of Bermuda right now. The peel they're giving to is so important. They're just keeping him alive despite the pressure from Panker, despite the pressure from Dalton. And Legion are really, really focusing, trying to get him down, and they just can't.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a lot closer than I think it was expected, where I wonder if this is almost a good omen for Uprising, in a sense, where a lot of people saw Bermuda taking down Uprising as, okay, Uprising is in trouble, and, maybe that's still the omen, but the fact that Bermuda is playing Legion this close right now makes me reconsider the series from a week ago.
It's very possible that Bermuda has improved. Granted, it's an improvement at the very end of the season, but it's still improvement.
Yeah, which means that even if Bermuda doesn't end up getting into playoffs here, I wouldn't want to fight them in Contenders trials, I'll tell you that much.
Now Bermuda, Legion rolling here on the mid. We have the mirror again, 3-3, Reinhardt versus Reinhardt.
Oh, Panker.
See, Panker, he went deep, but they couldn't catch him.
Yeah, and they booped it back one more time. Panker in a really tough spot, and a saving boop out on the other side. They were about to isolate Panker, but he's just barely able to walk away. Legion getting stuck in the room to the side, though. They lose a lot of positioning from the early exchange.
Their positioning for Bermuda has been so aggressive, so punishing here. They're keeping them locked in. The point now unlocked. So Legion are going to look to walk forward, contest. They do have a bubble up from Panker, as theirs used a little early, though.
His shield under a whole lot of pressure right now. It's about to crack. Legion, they know it. They're moving on forward. They're about to win the shield war. Umte's shield. And yet, Legion, they find the 10. Oh, what a shatter from Panker on the other side. Knocks down 3 as Legion move on in. And Umte just couldn't hold the line because his shield was so low.
Yeah, that is definitely the definition of winning the shield war. Panker setting up a great shatter there. Bermuda, they probably should have been aware. They should have known that Panker was going to have that shatter, play a little bit more split. You don't want to play around a Reinhardt where they doesn't have a healthy barrier, You know that a shatter will be coming in. So you have to watch out for that.
So Legion getting the fight after. Now, Bermuda, they still got first cap, so they have decent progress. It wasn't a total wash for them. But now they have to get through the Legion defense.
Legion holding here very aggressively. Panker 60% to another shatter. Remember, Umte dropped his own, didn't really get much.
Probably going to be used here by the Legion. Bermuda deciding, we're going to use the barrier. Graviton in the other way, self-destruct. Layered into the back. result in falling here from the other side. Delta gets his pressure in. Now it's a shatter in from Panker, seals the deal as Legion take the next fight.
Panker having a much more impactful round right now here on Night Market. Doing a lot. The shatters have been extremely impressive, using that shatter to finish up the fight. Post ults, so Bermuda are looking to break it open here. They're looking to get the break they need. They have the combo. They have shatter soon.
This is going to be their best chance to flip. If they lose this next fight here, even if they somehow bring it back later, they're going to be in such a time bank deficit that it's unlikely they bring it back.
And look how Legion are going to retreat towards the point. They want to continue building their grab. There's the grab out from Guru. Catches no one.
It's completely whiffed. Shu just throws in the self-destruct on a Women of Prayer. Not going to get what he's looking for either. Legion sustaining on through. Rolf's Transcendence, keeping them alive through the Bermuda pressure. Shatter only into the shield. Umte also takes a lot of poke damage for it. He's able to get away, but now the Graviton in from Dalton on the other side. Legions decide to move on in. They're looking on pickoffs for that. Panker ends up falling on the other side. Panker down. They overextend going into it. Bermuda still fighting this one back.
Panker overextended. He went for the charge there to try to get the frag. Gets cleaned up. There was no follow-up readily available for Legion. They didn't have the bomb. They didn't have any support ults to keep him up. He didn't even have Shatter at the time. I think he did have Shatter, but he couldn't use it since he was still in the pin animation. So a little bit of an overcommit from Panker now. So there's going to be the flip for Bermuda off that cleanup. But Legion have to feel happy because we can look at their ult bank here. They can afford to take some fights, maybe just get the grab out of Guru even, not commit anything, and then win the next.
All right, so Legion heading back on in. One fight for them to take map one here. Guru holding back the grab. Panker moves in, Shatter ready, holding on to it. Bermuda taking quite a bit of poke damage here. Panker decides to charge in. Graviton, though, going to stop him from getting anywhere near. But oh, the Shatter, big grab, putting Bermuda on the floor, making Legion way safer. They use it to take down Umte. They lose water in the exchange. It's 5-on-5. Bermuda, the self-destruct, off the other side from Shu. Not going to connect. Legion still fighting tooth and nail. They bring it back onto the point. They take down another two. And the Legion now on the verge of getting that one.
This should just be a cleanup here for Legion. Panker's still alive. He's the focus fire, just sort of locus for the rest of Legion. Is now they've got the flip. Bermuda, they can come back into the point, but can they even touch?
Seemingly unlikely, though. They might be able to. It's going to be on a very thin margin here. I'm not sure Legion is super interested in overcommit, but no, the answer is no.
Yep, the answer is no. As we build up the narrative, ready for the epic recontest, the answer is no.
You know, we saw some of those games earlier in Overwatch League.
We did.
Where it was Spark that did the impossible, but not quite the same here.
Not quite the same. I have to say, I was impressed with Bermuda's front line. It wasn't perfect gameplay, obviously, by any means. They still obviously lost the map, but they looked a lot stronger than they have previously throughout this contender season. And I like that narrative that you were pushing forward a little bit earlier about looks better for Boston, honestly, for losing to them. Like, sure, Boston maybe predicted to do better. They should have done better because of the strength of their results and their roster so far. But Bermuda looked a little bit scarier than they have in the past. Legion actually had to put up a fight. They were neutralizing Panker, and then they were having a tough time until Panker finally, was able to break free and just do a lot this last round.
Yeah, Panker kind of woke up later on in the map there and realized, but wait, I'm Panker. I'm one of the most hyped up tanks and contenders. I should be doing more. Ends up doing more in the very end. So very good for Legion towards there. But, I mean, for me, the story is Bermuda looks a lot stronger than I think anyone really respected, because you think about last week, people mostly put the blame on Uprising. There wasn't a whole lot of credit going to Bermuda. But now you look here, and they're taking Legion to task. Even if they don't get map one, they make it way closer. So Bermuda definitely building off of last week. And who knows? We still have a long series to go. It was close. This is still something they could win. Next map we're going to, it's going to be hybrid, and I believe Ike involved.
Yes, but I will say probably with that map loss, I think Bermuda is now officially out of the run. It's really now they're just playing for, they're playing to win, playing to get another win on the board and show their stuff to potential academy teams in the future. Obviously, they want to keep improving because they'll probably go to trials and work their way back up.
Well, I got news for you. Bermuda keeps playing like this. I don't think they have anything to worry about where, we kind of talk about getting relegated as a, very scary possibility for these teams. But if Bermuda can maintain that level of excellence, I don't see anyone coming up from Open Division and kicking them out of Contenders, because that was really good.
I think if they can show that level of excellence in the future and continue to improve, they could very much be a Square One type of scenario, where Square One, a team that's moved up from trials this season, and it looked really good. Yeah. And I really like to see talent that comes together and works their way out of trials and does well in Contenders. Again, it's a great success story.
Also, you think about what we've seen from Bermuda over the course of the season. There are times where it didn't really feel like they were super in sync at points. Like, Guru wasn't even in the lineup all the time, but the Guru Umte coordination there, really better than what we've seen all season long. But now,
I did like their performance.
Moving the Ike involved. Legion, of course, for them, they're operating on the idea that playoffs is next week. You know, they want to go with as high of a seeding as possible. And also, you know, you don't want to have a situation where you lose to a team that's been doing, you know, bad for most of the season, regardless of their improvement or not, because you want to talk about something that can, you know, boom your confidence in playoffs. That'd probably be it.
Boom your confidence, and you know, it's still a possibility to move you down in, you know, overall seeding. So you obviously want to have the best performance possible here. As Bermuda, they're going to be on the defense first, running that Ryan 3-3. Legion as well running the mirror.
3-3 versus 3-3. Bermuda back here on the defense. We'll see just how aggressive Legion wants to be set up right now. Bermuda holding a bit back as Legion, they do take this pretty aggressively in.
They are. They're doing a very, very aggressive push here for Bermuda. They're taking this fight here in the choke. Legion trying to force their way through. There's going to be the cooldown reset right now as both teams back up, reset, and looking for the next fight.
Well, they're looking for it, and it's going to be Bermuda getting the first pick off here. Water falling, even as Legion apply quite a bit of pressure. They get one tick early, so Bermuda, they decide winning the fight more important than putting people on point at all times. They're going to lose Pizza Demon, though, as it's now 5-on-5. The fight degenerating just a bit early. Transcends from Rolf. He built that lightning fast. And it gives Legion more presence on the point, but might not win the fight.
This grab!
Whiffed! The grab is completely whiffed! Guru hits the payload, doesn't hit any of Legion, and that is absolutely going to be the end of the fight. And that's tragic because the Transcendence was used early. That grab could have been big.
The Transcendence was used early and a good split from Bermuda, but the whiff grab and then a much better grab for Dalton, while Pizza Demon's still not in the fight, means a guaranteed fight win for Legion. So that was a great early pick off. And you see Legion, they're moving so aggressively. They're trying to get any picks they can. They're holding close to the choke, as I think they currently still just have Bishu on the cart moving forward.
The classic Diva on cart. But, yeah, I mean, for Legion, I don't think they're going to be trying to do anything too crazy. They're just trying to do a little bit of ult, contest positioning a bit for Bermuda, but you know, the fight is going to be taking place down on the ground here in just a moment.
Now, Pizza Demon does have that trance now. OG has the beat, the double support ults. But something to note is that since Dalton has that advantage, there's going to be the pressure here for to get the double support ult value early before the grab's out.
Shatter going to be invested here.
Going to catch everyone for Bermuda. Going to allow Water to clean up his frags. Panker opening it up again with another shatter.
Panker again does it, and very good setup here from the Legion. Pretty good time being set as well, 4-13.
Legion cart still has not really stopped moving just yet. As they keep going, Bermuda looking for the recontest. They're going to come out here from the left door. Umte used that shot in the last fight, does not have any more. Beat used early. And somebody know Dalton's just going to grab after.
Graviton going to be coming in here. Dalton moves in, self-destruct up from Bishu as the Legion continue their relentless assault. They are speed-running Bermuda here on Ike Involved.
This is a very, very, very fast offense for Legion as they move forward. They're trying to catch the spawners here. Hanger getting the charge into Umte. They're still chasing. Pizza Demon so low, cleaned up.
Moving forward, the Legion just staggering Bermuda one by one. This is a stark contrast from a map ago where Bermuda was fighting Legion so evenly. And here they're struggling to get their footing after one very rough fight in the beginning.
Legion have continued to build up more ults after just using them. Panker, Shatter up. Water also holding on to that rally. I imagine we're going to see the rallies trade in this next fight. And Guru and Dalton are both going to look to trade the grabs here as well.
Now you have Water setting up.
He's setting up for the bash shatter.
Bash shatter is what he's looking for. Going to the back, gets the bash! Shatter gets two down in the back. They're looking for Guru. They dive onto him very heavily. Not quite able to get him though. Legion, the execution there, not quite as decisive as it needed to be, but Bermuda still under heavy pressure, still getting heavily poked, and the Graviton's eaten! That Graviton into the abyss for the other side. Bishu gobbles on up, the Graviton in from the Legion, and they're looking to end this right here and now. Self-destruct out for Bermuda, gets two! We'll see if that's enough. Sometimes it can be. Two can mean that if they can just stall for respawns, they can push Legion back.
Umte, though, he's still looking for the shatter. Potentially that barrier is broken for Panker. Is he going to drop it? No! Panker just cleaned up, and Bermuda, they stabilized. Shoes bomb. Those two picks, all they needed.
Bermuda able to get back over, and you got to give credit to Shu there. Self-destruct when Bermuda needed it most.
Even without a grab, winning that fight is really huge. And I watched Panker again. I think Panker is being extremely aggressive and sort of walking over Umte maybe, but really, I don't think I can put shield position there as the problem. It was just a great bomb from Shu.
Yeah, I think the bomb was in the right place, right time for where the rest of Legion was. But we get Panker. Earth Shatter's up. And right now there's been very little chill. He's been channeling his inner bumper and how aggressive he's been being here. You see him walk forward. He backs up a bit, so he's not going to fully sacrifice his shield yet.
Guru has another grab here, something to note. Guru already has this grab up before Dalton. No support's up just yet, though. That beat's going to be up for Lude. Now, I imagine Bermuda, they're going to have to look for the engage.
Shatter going to be invested into the void, doesn't get anything. Meanwhile, the Shadow from Tay gets what they need. They get water onto the ground, but Bishu. Bomb gets Pizza Demon, 5-on-5. Guru, this time his grab's going to connect, but takes down Lude. And Legion getting the better of the fight here overall, but I'm still not sure if it's decisive enough. They get Ultima Web. It's looking better. It's 4-on-3, but Bermuda's respawns, they're about to be coming back in.
Pizza Demon, he has to keep his Zarya alive. He does. He's able to keep Guru in the fight. That's so huge. Shu running to the back line and catching Wolf. This is the recontest they needed. They're back in.
And it's kind of the dynamic of Eichenwald last, right? Where you have to get it cleanly. If you lose 2 people, even if the fight is going your way, the respawns are just going to kill it for you every time.
As OG actually dies to the spam there in the choke, is going to give Gladiators the opening they need to continue move forward, to walk through for free, a little bit less of an aggressive hold for Bermuda. As right now, Bermuda, they're really going to be hoping for this combo. They're really hoping for Guru to get another grab. Shu has bomb. No support ults up for Legion.
Anchor casually walking forward. He's seeing a lot of shield damage. You know what that means? He's moving forward, setting up for the Earth Shatter. No, instead taken down mid-Shatter. And now Bermuda fighting back once more, but the Graviton in from Dalton might have done lethal damage. The counter bomb coming up here. Legion's still in it, but they've lost so many people that, again, Bermuda might be able to hold.
And on top of that, Bijou just uses the bomb as well. There's the Transcendence from Wolf. This fight's over, Wolf. You can't win this. The spawn advantage.
Spawn advantage too strong, where even every time as Legion starts to fight off well, they can't avoid one person getting picked off. And a lot of time, it's been Shu who's been doing the dirty work.
Shu has been doing a great job. Guru is all building grabs at a tremendous rate. So now Bermuda, they've stabilized again as we see Panker just warp speed directly back to the graveyard as he came back in. Legion looking for this fight. Really only 2 fights left at max for this offense for Legion.
So Tay going to be a little bit far forward here in Bermuda, holding more forward than they have in the past. They get the boop onto Banker. They're looking for him, and they get the pick off. Good isolation set by OG, and this is excellent for Bermuda. They've brought it down within the mid-threshold. It's really good for their next attack, but even better would be if they could get the hold.
And a stagger onto Bishu here as well. Trying to run away, he's going to get cleaned up then, delaying the push even more. So now, last fight for Legion moving in here. They don't have a ton to work with. They're going to have beat soon. They have a shatter, maybe a bomb as well, but Bermuda just, their ult bank looking scary. Their hold looking good.
Alrighty. Bermuda, 1 fight away from a hold. Remember, Legion had over 4 minutes when they got here the point C. Early bash gonna be coming out there. Meanwhile, the Shatter in from Umte gets nothing. Legion, they shrug it off. The Shatter in from Panker. They knock Shu down to the floor. They're gonna be looking for the D-Mech with Reckless Abandon. The Transcendence from Pizza Demon, though, coming out to save. The problem is, Dalton has his grab. They lose Lude. But even here, the grab is also pretty big. Grab comes in first from
Shu eats grab.
Oh, it's Ian on the other side. Shu, the hero once more. And Bermuda looking like they're gonna be stopping Legion here and now. What a hold coming in from Bermuda.
Incredible stabilization. Incredible stabilization there from Bermuda. Now it's just going to be cleaned up here on the point. Just well played from Shu in particular, I think, who's been the real hero on last in particular.
Yeah, I mean, we went from speed run here to failure to complete. That is a wild swing in game momentum all in all. Now, that being said, getting it deep in the Eichenwald Sea is still something you can feel good about. It's one of the hybrid maps that isn't always completed necessarily because the final point is pretty difficult. So don't think for a moment here that Legion can't come back and win the map, because lesser attacks have done more. Especially, I mean, again, you see it not only here at Contenders, but Overwatch League, right? You think back to the Titans Outlaws series that recently went on. You know, it ended on point B. So, you know, Legion, they still have plenty to work with, but what a gutsy showing from Bermuda, nonetheless.
So now, Bermuda going to be on the offense here. And I have to say, I was going to say, well, maybe that first map was a fluke, but seeing their incredible stabilization on second, they were probably just getting continuously snowballed and did not know how to respond. Still not a good look, but better than being rolled throughout the map. So there's still real hope for them here on the offense.
The funny thing about all that, too, though, is that Bermuda was close to having a much better hold on point A, where, you know, Legion, they invested Transcendence early, and they don't get what they're really looking for from that, right? And then the end result is that they set up Guru for a really good grab, and they're saved only by the grace of Guru accidentally hitting the payload. That could have been a much worse first attack for the Legion.
So now we're looking to see what Bermuda's going to roll out here. I think they're going to be sticking with the 3-3. Legion as well, obviously on the defense, on the 3-3 as well. So as we watch these teams roll out, we see this first offense start. I will once again be returning my eyes to watch the Zarya bubbles, because the Zarya bubbles are just such a defining, you know, pacemaker for that initial engagement in the neutral game, the old neutral game.
Alrighty, so Bermuda out here on the attack. The victory condition pretty simple. Just bring it deep to point C. Sometimes that is easier said than done. But for now, Legion's holding pretty far up.
Legion are, they're trying to contest early at the choke. There's the bubbles used. Now, Legion backing up a little bit towards the point, taking a lot of early poke.
Yep, they're going to rotate it back. Bermuda able to get through the choke rather quickly here. Legion not wanting to fully commit. Panker's caught out. Panker's down. Early isolation coming in. Panker got bashed by Brigida, and that was it. Bermuda, lightning fast point.
That was even faster than Legion's, I believe. This is a very, very fast take for Bermuda. So now, getting that A extremely early. The question is, do we watch Bermuda? Are they going to move forward and catch spawns? It looks like they do want to try maybe fight these spawns early. No, they're backing up. They're turning around. They said, okay, guys, let's shoot them a bit. Let's turn back around, get back to the cart. So Bermuda going to be taking the 6 right here on the cart again.
Bermuda hanging on here to the payload. 5.5 minutes to begin the assault here on the second. And oh, what a charge! Lude just getting smashed early on. Decisive stuff here from Bermuda. That's going to let them get through this gate. And again, it's going to put Legion very far back.
And even with going down there, he's still close to spawn. The gate is still opening. I think that's a little bit of a misplay from Legion. They were hoping to stop the cart before it got to the gate. But instead, all they've done is they took the fight once the cart got to the gate, and now the gate's open, and they staggered themselves in a way.
So Bermuda now going to be rotating up and over to the high ground, testing Legion from getting back over here. But it's a rough setup to begin with here.
Bishu eats shoes grab, by the way. Oh, no.
That's a self-destruct.
That's a self-destruct.
I was going to say, that's a self-destruct. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Legion, they're a little bit over-aggressive and moving up. Bermuda able to re-contest, re-engage. They get the better of it, and Ante just going real deep on the Dalton.
Kaker gonna go down as well. That little bug for eats, it just messes with me. Sometimes when I see that, I was like, wait, shoot. I said shoes grab, but then I realized shoes not playing Zarya.
Well, we are at a distance, so I don't blame you. That it kind of looks like a grab on the screen to a degree. But you know what? No, one does not merely eat an exploding war mech.
No, as Legion, though, they're still in a great position for the recontest. They have double supportal. They're coming up on the grab bomb combo themselves. There's the beat.
Barrier in here from Bermuda early. Not enough to save Omte, but both teams down Reinhardt. It is a Rhineless fight here for point B. Both teams investing Transcendence. Maybe going to a more grindy setup. Beat invested here from Legion. They use it to continue their aggression. They get Ultima Wep down. They're up a man here on the point. OG darting around, looking for the boop off to the side. Not going to get it. Panker's rejoined the fight. And Legion doing well.
Great late beat from Lode. Really, it's just the bunny hopping of support ults there. We've talked about it in the past. If you're able to use it later, you get more value. You generally can sustain throughout the fight, get the win. And that's exactly what happened. They traded those ults, got the beat out early from OG, and then had a much later beat.
Right now, this is a sneaky setup here for the Legion on the defense. They're looking for ways to isolate Bermuda early. Panker, of course, Shatter up. A fan of looking for flank shatters when he can get them. But it looks like Legion, they're just going to reset up altogether. Panker going real deep for that shatter. Knocks down enough to set up 2.
And then Umte tries to drop the return shatter, gets really nothing from the shatter, but does get water with the pin. However, this is just cleanup for Bermuda, or not for Bermuda, for Legion.
And Legion, they're playing with fire to a degree. The payload got real close to the apex of point B there, but they get to the point just in time. There is no C9 moment. And as a result, the Legion have really re-solidified here on this defense.
They're very confident in that they can touch the point in time. They were really looking to set up Panker Shatter, which they did. I mean, catching Guru early with the Shatter means there was no grab. Continuing to give Bloody the chance to build up that beat. Bermuda coming back in here from the castle, from the lower here again to fight the point. They might rotate high ground and rotate bridge, but it looks like they potentially want to... No, it is. They're going from the high ground and actually going to go to the bridge, or maybe even the slope.
Heading up on top. Graviton can be invested here early on the Legion, and they use it to get down Guru. It's a clean grab, even better engage. Unfortunately, Pete's Demon's Transcendence just wasn't up in time.
No, it definitely was not. And they also committed Ultimate Weapon Rally there for that engage, so they don't have that ult either. But this is Bermuda's opening, right? Dalton, no grab, water, no rally. It's really a battle of Rhines to make sure Panker and Bijou cannot get value. And you set up the Guru.
Panker, though, does have great options here to potentially get a flanking shatter or a sneaky engage. He's been looking for it every single time in Bermuda. You know, by chance to a degree, they haven't hit Panker's setup yet. And it doesn't look like they're going to hit it here either. So Bermuda, the rotations in such a way that Panker hasn't gotten the super shadows he's looking for.
Dropping down the very aggressive charge from Panker and the bomb from Bijou.
Oh, the bomb's big. Over the top, gets 2 directly to start things out. And that, again, another one team fight for the Legion. Gives them time to build back up on ults. Staggers Bermuda even more. And Bermuda, they might be down to the last fight.
And that's why I talked about that last fight was so important, the Battle of the Rhines, because all Panker was looking to do was remove barrier, remove Umpte's shield, and then just get it out of the way for Bijou's bomb. So they catch 2. Great bomb from Bijou, great charge from Panker, just getting disruption. So now Bermuda deciding to rotate all the way back to main because they have to, because the card has rolled back all the way across the bridge.
Final minute remaining, last fight here for Point B. Bermuda had such a gutsy Point C defense, might not even see Point C themselves. They've run into a Legion brick wall here in Point B. The Graviton invested early, the bomb directly to the back. Not gonna get what it's looking for. Panker holding on himself, waiting. Shatter ready. Barrier invested here by the Legion. Transcends out from Bermuda. And Panker does drop the hammer. Doesn't get what he's looking for. Dalton on the meanwhile uses the grab. They get so much off on the other side. 4 down. And Legion gonna be taking the fight, and that's likely gonna be it.
Yeah, I mean, there is technically still one more fight, but Bermuda had an unbelievably unfortunate engage. A solo grab from Guru onto Panker. Dalton's able to save bubbles, they're able to transcendence him. Their grab doesn't get anything, then Umpte gets staggered while, gets thrown up into the air while trying to shatter, then off the map. So just everything went wrong that could have for Bermuda.
Bermuda gonna struggle here, just a touch of payload one more time. They run for it, and the Panker shatter puts everyone on the ground.
And this is just clean up here for the Legion. Ultimate is using the rally, but the bomb for Bijou splitting them. This is all cleanup all the time. Shu going out. And Legion taking Eichenwald.
And that's why we qualified it there, saying even though the Point C defense from Bermuda was really good, there's no guarantee you're going to see Point C yourself.
So it is going to be Legion going up 2-0 at the half over Bermuda. Will look to be a relatively solid first map performance on King of the Hill on Control for Li Zhang. Did not translate into Eichenwald very well.
No, I mean, they did kind of bottle up a little bit for Point C, where they said, yeah, we remember how to play this, but also Point C is pretty defender's advantage. It's why, again, you don't see teams cap through Point C all the time. And even Point B can be a struggle to go through, where despite a very quick start for Bermuda on the Point A, they simply could not keep it going through Point B. Legion were able to stabilize, and once they got going, they simply didn't stop.
No, they did not. They could not be stopped at all. And a little bit of a slower performance as well from the front line. I think Shu had a very, very good position in bombs on both defense and even on offense. But the rest of the team just couldn't get the value they needed. They could not defeat Panker. They could not defeat the aggression from the rest of Legion.
Not quite. So Legion up at the half 2-0, but I'd say the score hasn't been the entire tale of the tape, especially going back to map 1. Will Bermuda be able to bring this back? Will they be able to find the reverse sweep? We're going to find out in a few moments.